Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to your latest Chelsea news. Look what we have here. Everything that we kind of predicted or kind of wanted to happen has looks like it has happened. We've been saying that Victor Osimhen, you've got some problems with your agent, man. How you've ended up in Galatasaray when you had Chelsea after you, PSG after you, Al Ahli, with all of that money that was thrown at you, and you somehow still managed to stay at Napoli after all of that transfer saga. 3 months and you didn't get a move, and eventually enough, you got banished from Napoli, and that was always going to happen. That was inevitable. And now, finally, ladies and gentlemen, the news is that he's parted ways with his agent, and now he's single-handedly brokered the deal to Galatasaray all by himself through the help of an intermediary. So we're going to talk about that whole heap of conversations in regards to all the injury stuff that's been happening at Chelsea. We got news in regards to Reece James, Malo Gusto, Ben Chilwell, who's not injured, but transfer news in regards to him. Jadon Sancho is training. So many important news coming your way. Do not go anywhere. Take a moment right now, ladies and gentlemen, to smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all our content. And ladies and gentlemen, if you've missed out earlier on, 2 pieces of content on a regular basis, we're going to try our level best. Earlier on, we dropped the That's Life podcast, which is between myself and Ryan. You guys, I know, enjoyed a lot. So do check out that podcast, which literally dropped earlier today. If you go onto the channel, you see the latest, the video before this one. Earlier on today, UK time, you'll get a opportunity to see that particular video. And there's a lot of excellent conversation that took place there. And I'd love to know how you guys felt about some of the topics that we talked about. And please leave a comment there, because in the next episode of That's Life podcast, we're going to actually bring out some of these comments and, address your concerns as well. All right, look, without further ado, let's get cracking into this, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Osimhen has parted ways with his agent, Roberto Calenda, after failing to secure a move to either Al Ahli or Chelsea. The Nigerian striker personally negotiated his loan move to Galatasaray with the help of his intermediary, George Gardi. So this is big. This is huge, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the fact that he's parted ways, it kind of says that he was dissatisfied with his agent, which kind of makes me think maybe his agent was trying to play up a bit too much in this whole Chelsea negotiation. He wanted Chelsea. His agent couldn't get him the Chelsea deal done. Who knows? Maybe greed played a factor. Maybe he wanted a lot more money, Mr. Agent. And now Victor Osimhen has parted ways. He didn't even land the Al Ahli deal either. So this now gives me solid confidence that Chelsea will be back in January for Victor Osimhen. And there is a little bit of news in regards to this. Brit Romano has just dropped this. Chelsea still appreciate Victor Osimhen. Let's see if they can activate this option in January. This is Brit Romano. If you guys remember, he's gone to now Galatasaray, but there is a clause that he can leave Galatasaray in January. So will Chelsea trigger that clause? We shall see, ladies and gentlemen. Big news this. Let me know your thoughts. If you did feel that his agent was the one that screwed everything up, or a lot of blame was going towards Victor Osimhen, that he's money hungry, this, that, the other. But it looks like his agent might have screwed things up a lot. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think Chelsea will be back going for Victor Osimhen in January, knowing that now he's got a new agent? Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea are open to sending Ben Chilwell on loan to Turkey, with left back facing at least 4 months in the football wilderness if he stays at Stamford Bridge. Coming from Matt Law. Look, Turkish league is one of the leagues that's still open. I believe it's got another 6 or 7 days left. There's, I think, Greek league as well. I don't think he's going to go to Greece. Turkish league, look, it's not one of the top leagues in Europe, but it still holds some level of value. There's Jose Mourinho there in Fenerbahce and some really good players. Osimhen is obviously going to Galatasaray. I would love to see Ben Chilwell at Fenerbahce for Jose Mourinho. I don't know whether that's going to happen, but there's Besiktas, there's Fenerbahce, there's Galatasaray, there's Istanbul. There's quite a lot of very good teams in the Turkish league. And give yourself an opportunity, Ben Chilwell. Don't just be sitting around in the wilderness and not do anything. Try and see a loan move can be brokered. his wages are the big concern. So let's see what happens with Ben Chilwell. Next up, Romeo Lavia due to start training again with a view to being fit for the Bournemouth game coming from Ahli. This player is needed. This player is seriously needed. Our midfield, when we want to win duels, when we want to throw in tackles, when we actually want to show some level of intensity, can work. But when there's none of that there, with Enzo Fernandez specifically, who we need to make a video and talk about, and Caicedo as well, lunging into tackles, then we've got concerns. Romeo Lavia, since the season has started, pre-season, the match against Manchester City, the first one, he's been the standout midfielder, and we needed him, and I feel like we've missed him. And he's already missed 3 matches this season, I believe. Yeah, 3 matches. Servette, away, Wolves, and Crystal Palace. So he's already missed 3 matches. We can't afford for him to keep missing matches, man. We didn't bring him to Chelsea Football Club to miss matches. 5 matches so far this season, 5, official matches, not the preseason ones. And he's already missed 3, which is not a good look. And need this player back for Chelsea. And need him to sort out all of this injury stuff, man. His body has somehow, we've got to be able to keep him fit as long as possible. So let's see what happens. I'm hoping Romeo Lavia is back against Bournemouth. It is much needed. Bournemouth's not going to be easy. No easy games in the Premier League. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Reece James is unlikely to be fit enough to start against Chelsea's next opponent, Bournemouth. He is still thought to be a couple of weeks away from returning to full training. Wow. Forget about playing a match. Returning to full training. This, ladies and gentlemen, look, you know how I feel about Reece James. And I know a lot of you guys feel very positive about Reece James. And we don't want to talk or entertain that, oh, no, it's over for him. He needs to leave, this, that, the other. We want to keep him, right? He's captain of the football club. But the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is once again not available. He was already serving the ban for the first 3 matches. And then in between the ban, he picked up the injury. Don't forget, his preseason was lackluster. It looked like he was so out of it. Get it, he's been injured. He's had the surgery. It's going to take a little bit of time to recover. But now he's injured whilst he was recovering, or trying to get back to his utmost fitness. And now it looks like he's not even going to be available after the international break, and it won't be ready for the Bournemouth game because he is not even back at full training. He's after the international break. He's only going to return back in full training, and then he's got to regain his fitness again to put himself as a contender to be in the bench or even start for Chelsea. So huge problem, man. And we got some news in regards to Malo Gusto. He's potentially injured as well, and he might not be available against Bournemouth. And we're back to this situation where we don't have a right-sided player. It's a problem. I really would like to see Reece James play as RCB for us. And if we do want to play him as a right back, and he inverts, that's probably not the best scenario for me. But as a RCB, I think we can get solid performances. Well, we can get a solid player in that particular position. So this is starting to become a concern. Once again, Reece James missing a lot of the matches, and this is becoming a regular occurrence season in, season out. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in regards to Reece James possibly not going to be making after the international break either. Official, Malo Gusto has withdrawn from the France under-21 squad because of a thigh injury. The French Football Federation has confirmed this is problem as well for us. He did pull up. We remember against Crystal Palace, he had to get substituted. Now the question is, how long is this going to be? But looks like it might not be fixed by the end of this international break, and I don't think he'll be ready for that Bournemouth game, which then becomes a bit of a problem for us. We have to do some sort of makeshift adjustments. Potentially Caicedo, who's done that at Brighton, might have to slot in off the ball as a right back, and then on the ball he'll have to invert, which is he plays in midfield anyway, so that's something we can do. But problem. Malo Gusto, another player that even last season he was getting injured quite often. We've got problems in that right fullback position or right-sided player, and yeah, man, young players getting injured on a regular basis. I don't know what to do, man. And Malo Gusto is someone that I want him to be available as often as possible, because knowing Reece James is not going to be there. All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, should Gusto and James be both be ruled out, then Maresca may have to consider starting Moses Caicedo as makeshift inverted right back coming from our law, and this is exactly what we said. It'll probably have to be Caicedo. Look, it may even be Desasi, and that would be so annoying because Desasi simply does not have the legs to play in that right-sided role. He's going to get run down. He's not quick enough. His recovery pace isn't good enough, and sometimes his awareness is abysmal as well. Cole Palmer is returning to Chelsea to continue rehabilitation for ongoing issue following an England assessment. Look, he did grab onto his hamstring against Servette when we had that victory against Servette, I believe. But then he did feature against Wolves. So, look, I'm glad he's not featured. I think this is more of a precautionary thing. I don't really think he has an injury. It's more of a precautionary thing. There's no need for him to get involved in the international break for England. And I'm glad he's back to Chelsea and just can rest up and just focus on the club side of things. I really don't get these international matches so early on in the season. Like, we literally just finished Euros and Copa America. Like, what's going on? Straight away again in September, international matches for, some sort of Nations League. Like, this is too much, man. I'm glad he's staying. And there's actually quite a lot of players all around the world, and even for England as well, that are not going to the international break. Foden is not going. Ollie Watkins is not going. Cole Palmer is the latest one. Maybe it's time to give others an opportunity during this time frame. And then when things get more serious in terms of World Cup qualifications, then perhaps these players can contribute again. But right now, this is probably the wise decision for Cole Palmer to get some break and recover and give Chelsea Football Club everything that he can, which is far more important. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Jadon Sancho is in training with Chelsea teammates today at Cobham. Enzo Maresca will work with Sancho and other internationals over the break. I fully hope Sancho will play some part against Bournemouth. It'll be interesting, man. Enzo Maresca, it's a massive headache, man. How are you going to fit all of these players? Because some players will have to miss out from the bench as well. So some players won't even be in the squad, which I don't know is going to be a healthy situation for Enzo Maresca and Chelsea Football Club. So how he sells that is going to be very important to the players. But maybe some of the players straight after the international break might not be available anyway, and we might need to rest them. So Jadon Sancho definitely, I think, can be penciled down to feature against Bournemouth. I hope this brother trains hard over the next couple of weeks and gets ready for that Bournemouth match and really help Chelsea, man. We need to start winning games in the Premier League. So very excited to see Jadon Sancho. Very excited that the fact that he's started training with his teammates at Chelsea at Cobham. And let's see what plans Enzo Maresca has for Jadon Sancho. Next up, Chelsea are pretty close to having balanced the books following Angelo Gabriel's sale, if you don't count Penders and Estevao, who was signed for 2025 and not joined yet. 208.5 million spent, 188.9 million in sales. This is Nizak and Salah. Look, of course, we've done a madness. We've let go a lot of players. We've brought in a lot of players, and our net spend looks like is about 20 million. So it's not massive at all, which is, kudos to the sporting directors, kudos to the owners, testament on how they run the business. But I still reiterate, all of this business that we've done, do we have a world-class or an elite goalkeeper? No. Do we have a world-class or an elite defender? No. Do we need a little bit more support in midfield? Because Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, they look a little bit shaky together. Romeo Lavia seems to have injury issues. So do we have backup in midfield? No. Do we have a classic world-class elite level striker? No. So all of that spending, and we can genuinely say we don't have any of this backbone really set up for us. So yeah, great. The business is great, but what have we done with the business? We brought a lot of players who are quality players, but were some of them necessary? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about, especially the Osimhen sacking his agent, and we potentially going after him in January again. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, take care. See ya. Bye.